Happy Saturday, everyone. How are you doing wherever you are in the world? I pray that you are blessed beyond measure, and I know that you are. It is a rainy day here in Dallas, Texas. I am up on a Saturday morning, just got finished doing some studies and research. Now, for you guys that know I love doing research and I find out some amazing things. Today is a very wonderful and special day to me. You know why? Because you're in it and I get to sit here and show you this video. Remember, these videos and this bold and unique lifestyle is talking about showing up as you. And in me wanting you to show up as you, I have to show you my lifestyle and my life. So every day when I get on here, these little quick clips are just to show you what goes on in my life and what I'm doing throughout the day. Now, granted, you don't get to see everything, but the parts that you can see when I'm able to record them on a daily basis. Of course, I have things to do. I can't just be on videos all day. I would love to, because it's always been my passion ever since I was a 10-year-old girl, and my father put a reel to reel. Some of you don't know what that is, and it's okay. But Google it. I'm sure Google knows. But ever since my father put a reel to reel camera in my hand, and I loved it. And at that time, it just had motion. It didn't have sound. You couldn't record anything, but it had motion. And me and my sister would play with that, and we would act out stuff. And I discovered that I had an acting ability. I discovered that I was very theatrical and I was funny, and I was just being myself. For many, many, many years, I was told I could not be myself because I'm too outgoing or too loud or too, I don't know. But I was very much that child that was heard and not seen, because they tell you be seen and not heard. But I was like heard because I was very opinionated and very I didn't hold back. I stood up for myself and for others if I thought that they were being done in jest. So with that being said, this morning I want to talk to you about your gift, your calling, your business, whatever that is and however that looks for you. I know when I was 10 years old, I fell in love with media because of that one act. And my father wasn't buying the camera for me. He seen the old reel to reel at a consignment store we were at, and he picked it up. He thought it would be great. My mother's name is Dorothy. He calls her Dot. He was like, Dot, I'm gonna get this, and make home movies, whatever. And so it was his present. It was his gift to himself. He always liked stuff like that too, but he had no idea, or maybe he did, that I would be that child that just fell in love with media and newspaper and magazines and all of that stuff. And so in doing so, there was many years I didn't walk in that because I was told there was no income in that. How was I going to make a living? How was I going to do this? It's too hard to go to Hollywood. You may not get discovered. You may not do this. All this stuff that was told to me, right? So I worked at many jobs, and I mean many, because when you're not walking at your calling, you'll never be satisfied anywhere. You'll just be working to pay the bills. And that's what I was doing for many years. I was working to pay the bills. I was a single mom with my children, and it was just me. And so my parents helped me 100%. Thank God for parents. So I was working just to pay the bill. And even though I was working to pay the bills and I had good jobs, what they consider good jobs, but it wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough. It literally wasn't. And I'm going to tell you how much of enough it wasn't, because I remember working at a government agency, right? And all of their clerks on the level that I was on, all of us was receiving food stamps and TennCare, Medicare, whatever you want to call it at the time that it was. We were receiving food stamps and TennCare, and they thought, this is crazy. We're the office that provides that for people, but yet our workers are still able to draw that, especially a single one, because there was a lot of single women that worked there. We needed the jobs. So anyways, they gave us literally like a nickel raise, because that nickel raise took us off the status to be able to draw. But still and yet, that nickel raise was not enough for us. So I had to hustle. I had to hustle. I had to get creative. And I was always very creative with learning and knowing how to make money. But I had to make some very, very key decisions in my life at that point because I knew as a single parent, I had to make the income of four parents. And so I decided to go into business for myself. So I opened a business that not necessarily I didn't like. It was desktop publishing, but I did it because I needed that extra. I needed that overage. I knew that I needed, and I'd always been entrepreneur, but I needed to find a way to make it work for me 100%. So with me saying that, when I went into a deep state of depression because of that, I mean, it's hard being a single mom and trying to figure it all out. And then you have to be the disciplinary, you have to be this and that, and bitterness and anger, all that stuff for being a single mom and life not being the way that you thought it would be. So I had to figure it all out. In trying to figure it all out, I remembered what my passion was. I woke up and remembered what I love to do, and I figured a way to make it work for me. So I want to tell you guys today, there are ways that it can work for you. You may not see them because other people in your ear telling you there's no way. But there is that one person out there to say, oh, sure, there's a way. And you need people to help you in this step. Like I had plenty of spiritual mentors and business mentors, but because of those seeds being planted that there was no way, it was blocking me from hearing everything that they were trying to tell me and they were trying to help me with. And I had to break out of that. So I want to encourage someone today, especially the single moms, If you need some ideas, if you need that extra ear or those extra eyes on something, please feel free to reach out to me. DM me right here. I'm more than happy because I want you to thrive. I want you to express who you are. I don't want you being stuck in a place. And even if you're not a single mom, and even if you're a man, if you want to reach out and let's talk about some career choices, let's talk about your entrepreneurship, let's talk about what makes you drive, let's talk about those things because they're not talking about it. But I don't only want you to talk about it, I want you to be you doing it. I want you to show up on social media of you. We've got so many people betraying to be everything and everything. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes. That's the reason why I like coming on here, me. And most of you know that I'm going to just be me. And however that looks, it doesn't matter to me what anyone thinks. I know I have to be this way because there's someone that I'm called to that's listening to this right now that's going to say, I'm going to break out of being that other person because if she can do it, I can do it. And I want you to know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I want you to rip off every label placed on you, especially the ones that you placed on yourself. I want you to get up today, do something special. Like I treated my scalp today. My scalps have been like very bad lately. Very bad. And so I had to treat my scalp and treat my skin and different stuff. So that was special for me today. So I'll probably continue to studying because I love to study. I love to read. I love to do all those things. It's relaxing for me. It takes me to a whole other world when I'm doing those things. And I want you to do that for you today. Be encouraged and remember that you are bold and unique. And I want you to walk in it. Go out, value and honor someone today. Be a friend. And not only be a friend, I pray that you have a friend. Talk to you later. Love you guys.